Okay. Good evening and welcome to the meeting of the Santa Fe ISD Board of Trustees. We believe it's important this meeting be conducted in an organized and efficient manner, and to that end would like to outline some ground rules for all of us to follow during the course of the evening. First and foremost, you should recognize that this is a board's meeting. By law, most of the discussion and all of the voting must be done in open session, but public participation by necessity must be limited to that part of the agenda that is reserved for public input. Occasionally, the board may seek comment or clarification from an administrator in attendance or even from someone in the audience. It's the board's prerogative to seek information from non-board members as it chooses. However, unsolicited participation from the audience is inappropriate. Secondly, at times it may seem we're voting on issues of importance with little or no discussion. Please be advised that all board members get a packet of background information about the various subjects on tonight's agenda days in advance of actually coming here to participate in the meeting. After receiving our packets, all board members have and often exercise the opportunity to contact various school administrators to ask specific questions in an effort to better understand the issues that we're expected to vote. We thank you for being interested in your school district as witnessed by your presence here tonight. We encourage your active participation in the educational process of your children. We appreciate your cooperation in helping us conduct the business of Santa Fe ISD in an organized and civilized manner, and we hope you enjoy the meeting. And with that, Mr. Davenport, would you lead us in an invocation and the pledges, please?
Yes, sir. Please bow your head. Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here tonight. Heavenly Father, just ask as we conduct this meeting that you watch over each and every one of us. Help us make the right decisions that are best for our district. Dear Lord, just lead us in a path that will lead the district in a way that will make everyone proud in our community and our staff and our students. Dear Lord, just ask that as we go home tonight, you watch over each and every one of us. For it is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Do we have any action from our closed session?
Yes, sir. In accordance with DC Local, the superintendent has hired the following contractual personnel: Michaela Bouvier, Selena Baronis, Kristen Bullington, Brianna Keel, and Barbara Melendez as teachers for 187 days. Stephen Rucker as wellness counselor for 205 days, and Alondro Sanchez as Director of Finance Services for 226 days for the 2019-2020 school year.
Okay, there is no action with that. That was a notification of those hirings, and congratulations to those folks. Anything else from executive session?
No, sir.
All right, Dr. Wall, we'll move on into our information items.
Sir, we have our monthly reports for your review this evening, and we can begin with Mr. Atkins giving us an update on our bond projects, our new school, and other projects throughout the district.
How's everybody doing this evening? All right, some quick updates. The parking lot projects, we'll start with those. They wrapped up most of those. Most of that project is almost complete. Got a little bit of more concrete to pour around some handicap posts and a little bit of sidewalk to pour right out here in front of Cowan. We've got wheel stops we'll put in this weekend, and so we're anticipating completion by end of next week. We've got a couple lights on the north parking lot that didn't work this evening, so we've got to order some new lights for those. Other than that, should be just about wrapped up. As far as Barnett Elementary goes, we are working through punch list stuff. We're trying to get the east playground finished. Weather has been a little bit of a delay there. Trying to get all the grass laid out and the courtyards and all the irrigation wrapped up. Hopefully all the irrigation and landscaping is supposed to be done by end of this week. So that's what they're telling me. Weather may delay that. We were supposed to get 60 pallets of grass this Wednesday, but they may be too wet to cut grass. So if they can't get that, that'll delay that schedule. Inside, everything's in good order. We're still working through a few hardware issues and some of the stuff with the badge readers that we're been challenged with by the vendor, but we're working on those and got contractors out. And then after that, it's mostly punch list stuff and some audio-visual stuff throughout the building that needs to be wrapped up. So we're in good shape. They're working nights and weekends over there, staying out of the way of the students and staff, and then they'll take on some challenges over the holidays when we get breaks and get it all wrapped up. The sewer line project at junior high, we put the new manholes in, the new manhole up by the building has upslope in the pipe, so they're gonna have to dig down and fix that. So they're gonna repair that. They were gonna do it this last weekend, but with the weather, it may be this coming weekend. And the new line they ran between the new manhole by Warpath to the tie-in in the parking lot was put in with some belly. So we're gonna find a break in the upcoming school year and dig that up and make them fix that. But we haven't paid them for any of that work, and we're monitoring to make sure we don't get backups. But with the manholes, we shouldn't have a problem with that. As far as start of school went, from an operations side, we felt like we had a very successful start of school and a successful week, and schools were clean and ready to accept kids, and most of them were cool. So, any questions?
Keeping them cool right now is a major accomplishment in this
Yes,
field.
yes.
Any questions for Bob?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. Let's see, Ms. Junko, we have a quarterly investment report for the fourth quarter.
Yes, sir. There we go. Okay, so the quarterly investment report, fourth quarter from April 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2019. Total assets are $29,350,411. The first graph here shows the percentage in each institution as of June 30th. And the next is a bar graph showing the exact dollar amount in each fund type that we have. And the third graph is just a percentage of the type of investments that we invest in. Any questions?
Any questions about the fourth quarter investment report?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other information items, Dr. Wall?
Sir.
So we will now move to our consent agenda.
Yes, we have the following items for your consider and approval together this evening. We have minutes from our prior meeting, our accounts payable, student transfers per policy, our general merchandising bid awards, adding some vendors to that, as well as additional appraisers to our Santa Fe ISD teacher appraiser system.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as it was presented. Any questions or comments?
No, sir.
Not, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Okay, thank you. With that, we will move into our regular agenda. And Patty, we have the TASB Risk Management Unemployment Compensation.
Yes, sir. The TASB Risk Management Fund has provided exceptional risk management coverage to educational entities throughout Texas since 1974 and provides unemployment compensation coverage more than any other provider. Santa Fe ISD must make a $24,864 contribution to the pool this year in order to secure coverage. This is an increase of $2,260 from our 2018-19 contribution based on the increase in staff. Santa Fe ISD HR department proactively manages all unemployment claims in an effort to reduce our yearly contribution. This coverage renews October 1st, 2019, and in accordance with the terms of the interlocal participation agreement, our coverage automatically renews unless the TASB has provided written notice 30 days prior to the renewal date. I'm asking that you approve this interlocal agreement not to exceed $24,864.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the TASB Risk Management Fund renewal proposal not to exceed $24,864.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the Risk Management Fund renewal from TASB. Any questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Okay, now we get to talk a little bit about the property tax code. Mr. Lisky.
Good evening. Let's talk school taxes. Please see the attached 2019 appraisal roll for the governing body approval. Also attached are the 2019 certification of anticipation collection rate letter and the 2019 value certification letter. All documents are respectfully submitted to the governing body to comply with the requirements set forth by Texas Property Code Section 26.01A and Section 26.04B. We are asking the board to approve the 2019 appraisal roll and recognize compliance with the Texas Property Tax Code.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the 2019 appraisal roll and recognize compliance with the Texas Property Tax Code.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2019 appraisal roll. Any questions, comments? Not cast your votes, please. And it has also passed unanimously. Hey, ma'am, now we need to get set the tax rate.
Tax rate. Okay, in compliance with the tax code section 26.0A, administration recommends a proposed maintenance and operation rate of 0.97 and a proposed interest and sinking debt rate of 0.3623. The total proposed tax rate for the 2019 tax year is 1.3323. This year's proposed tax rate does not exceed the effective tax rate. This year's tax levy to fund maintenance and operations expenditures does not exceed last year's maintenance and operations tax levy. We are asking the board to approve the resolution to adopt the 2019 tax rate of 1.3323, which consists of a maintenance and operation rate of 0.97 and the interest and sinking debt rate of 0.3623.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the resolution to adopt the 2019 tax rate of 1.3323, which consists of maintenance and operations rate of 97 cents and an interest and sinking debt rate of 0.3623.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution on the tax rate. Any questions or comments? Not, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Would you do me a favor and just basically give everyone where we were at and where we just went to?
Okay, so this year when the House bill passed, we were forced to drop our maintenance and operation rate by 7 cents. So last year we were 7 cents higher on our tax rate, but that's really just shifting the funds that are going to be available to the school district. The state is going to step in and give us the funds that we're dropping the 7 cents
Right,
of.
and that's why I want you just to publicly state to those members of the public that are here that their school tax rate is going down with the assumption that the state is going to make us back whole to where we were.
Yes,
Because I know that gets confusing. It's confusing to me, and I read it all the time. So,
yes, sir.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So we went from 1.4 to 1.3.
Okay, next we have an agreement with Santa Fe ISD and the Education Cooperative. Ms. Junko.
So, the EPIC 6 interlocal agreement will allow the district to purchase commodities and/or services from any and all EPIC 6 vendors under the same terms, conditions, and prices as stated in, excuse me, in each awarded contract at no cost to the district. On June 17th, 2019, an agenda was approved to purchase 32 light poles at the high school. The vendor Arrowhead Electric submitted a quote for $130,079 to replace and install 32 light poles at the high school and was selected to perform the service. Arrowhead Electric is a member of Epic 6 Co-op.
It's a pleasure.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement between the district and the Educational Purchasing Interlocal Cooperative, EPIC 6, at no cost to the district.
A second. Thought we already approved it.
We're approving the agreement now.
Yeah, wasn't this originally 200,000? What was the original amount we thought the light poles were gonna cost us?
Yes. Yeah, so, we
Not that
estimated
that has anything
about-
to do with this, but I mean,
No, we
it's
estimated about
$70,000 cheaper.
200,000. We got two prices. We got one from Crescent Electric and one from Arrowhead Electric, and we requested a third that we didn't get a bid back. Crescent Electric was in the 185 range, and Arrowhead was at the 130 range, 130. And so I went back to both. I had to make sure they could verify their numbers, and they were good with them, and they were comfortable. So
But we're 70,000 better off than we thought we were originally.
that's correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
You cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bob, we got a couple items for you. The HVAC unit at Kubitschek.
Yes, sir. So the gym HVAC unit at Kubitschek failed a few weeks ago. We put in some replacement compressors in it. It's a 25-ton system, so it has 5 5-ton compressors. We blew 2 of them within 7 days. Luckily, these were compressors we had that we recovered out of units that we had replaced previously. So we put 2 more in there to try to get it limped along, and we went out for pricing. This price is to replace the unit with a brand new 25-ton Lennox unit that has humidity control, which we don't have in there currently. It would have coated coils and a new curb included in the price. We would self-perform this. We'll have to get a crane to set it for us, but that cost will be minor. This will be covered out of the maintenance and operations annual budget. At this time, it's just over $25,000. That's why we bring it to you for approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion we approve the purchase of a Lennox 25-ton HVAC unit from Lennox for a cost not to exceed $28,180.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of the HVAC unit for Kubitschek. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
Cast your votes, please. It is passed unanimously. All right, Bob, now we need a resolution for the traffic signal.
Yes, sir. So TxDOT is the never-ending battle to get permit for the new traffic signal at G&A and FM 1764. They came to us about 3 or 4 weeks ago asking for us to sign a agreement that basically states we'll construct the intern, decelerization lane, and the light to TxDOT standards, and that we would then agree to turn it over once it's all completed and passed by their standards to TxDOT for their maintenance. I signed this agreement, but they asked for a board resolution to back the agreement up, which is what this is now, and we'll send this off to the state. They hopefully will get a permit shortly. Once we get this done, they did come back with us today for another form they wanted done. We signed that, submitted that, and they're telling us that we may not even need this resolution now, but we'll go ahead and send it off and make sure we got it so that that we can get this permit and move forward with getting a stoplight installed.
We all had to read it, so we're gonna go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So what's the holdup? How long ago did we apply for this line?
We started working on this 2 years ago. We met with them the week before Harvey, and so Harvey was kind of that time, kind of that thing that just tickles your memory. And so the Wednesday before Harvey hit on that Sunday, we were meeting with TxDOT to start this process. This is before we had a general contractor or even a finalized set of plans out. We started this process for TxDOT to get a light. And we're probably still 4 to 6 months out on having this light.
did something we do wrong, or is this typical for the state? I don't understand what's taking so long.
So we've been emailing and calling and battling with these guys for permits, and the permitting person that's over there in Washington, which is I say Washington Street in Houston, she won't answer emails or return phone calls if she's not working on your project. And our permit had remarks on a light back in March, and we didn't get them until June. And we resubmitted, and we've got all the approvals, and we've released the contractor to buy the equipment, but we still don't have a permit in hand, even though it was all cleared in June. So it's this kind of paperwork stuff that we're just stuck in.
So Bob, has it also been your experience though that one hand doesn't always necessarily talk to the other within
Yes.
TxDOT's organization?
Yeah, so Traffic Signal said that they approved our permit. We're gonna even look for other projects that they had light poles that met the needs that we needed in the mast arm sizes, and give them to us, and we'll replace them when ours come in, cause that's the long lead stuff. But didn't understand why permitting hadn't sent us a permit yet, and said we would get a permit, and this was in early June, and we still don't have the permit. So, I mean, and the guy who's sending this resolution's not talking to permitting either. So, this resolution actually more pertains to the decelerization lane and the intern, which is already installed. So nothing seems to mesh over there.
Right.
So they said it's gonna be 4 to 6 months, or is that your estimate? Yeah.
No, the supplier for because we buy the light. We have to buy the light and the light poles, and the lead time on the light poles, post-submittal approval is 4 to 6 months. And we should get the submittals this week. We don't have them yet, so. We're hoping we can better that, and we're also gonna talk to them once we get a permit about a temporary light, to see if we can at least set the posts and put some cabled lights over there so we can get our police officers off the street.
So the posts you have to purchase them from TxDOT?
We don't purchase them from TxDOT. We purchase them from a vendor that our general contractor's hired as part of his pricing, and then they get them manufactured. And they're manufactured TxDOT specs, and then we turn all the equipment over to TxDOT for them to maintain.
They just don't come with one-day prime shipping.
No.
Any other questions for Bob?
No, sir.
What's your pleasure?
As I make a motion, we approve the attached agreement and resolution as presented.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the resolution as presented. Any other questions? Cast your votes, please. And it is passed unanimously. All right, Bob, now let's talk about some turf or grass.
Okay, so obviously, baseball turf has been, and grass has been a topic we've been talking about for a while now. We went out and we got 8 total options for you guys to consider and figure out where y'all want to go. Option 1 was from Field Turf, the other company that did the football field, to put all turf infield, outfield, baseball, and softball for a cost of $1,670,123, and that's their cost. It doesn't include any contingency. Hellas gave us 2 options. Option 2 with Hellas is turf infield for baseball and outfield softball, infield and outfield softball. So it'd be the whole field for softball and the infield only for baseball for $847,444. Option 3, which was from Hellas, is baseball and softball complete fields at $1,600,918. In those prices, they also include 1 set of wear areas replacement to the tune of about $11,000 per field. Fielder's Choice, option 4, provided a price of turf the infield, baseball, and softball for $502,620. And in that price, means we pay for baseball and they do softball is for free as a donation to the district. Option 5 from Fielder's Choice is turf infield and outfield complete, baseball and softball at $1,266,457. That also is we pay for baseball and they cover the cost of softball as a donation. Option 6 from Fielder's Choice is a grass, just the infield of baseball, and then redo some softball for $145,544, and that's just grass. Option 7 is redo the grass in the infield and outfield of both baseball and softball for $300,825. And then Texas Multichem gave us a price to redo the grass infield and outfield at both baseball and softball for $247,761. With the grass options, there's annual upkeep that gets up in the $35,000 range, and that's on the table attached behind to some of the annualized cost. Their turf doesn't have, full turf doesn't have as much annual cost, but there is a cost estimated about 10 years for turf replacement.
Bob, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Bob, I got a couple questions for you. Knowing that we're already at the 26th of August, should we choose a vendor tonight to replace the grass and put in a turf, do we have enough time to get it in before both softball and baseball
Yes, so
start their season?
I got a confirmation for both Hellas and Field Turf that as long as they start in October, it's about a 10-week install time. I estimate 14, I give them 4 weeks of weather. So baseball and softball don't start till late January, so that would be more than enough time to get the construction done.
But you haven't heard a timeline from Fielder's Choice?
What about Fielder's Choice?
Fielder's Choice, I don't have a timeline, but I'm sure it's the same. It's the same work. Okay. So.
Coach Bentley? Yes, sir. Could your other programs use both softball as well as the baseball field, should they need it on weather days?
Absolutely. Soccer, boys and girls soccer can get on there, and it's all weather field, so anybody can get on it and use it. Football can use it as well as another field.
Turf option.
With the turf.
There's room available.
And with other options, could other programs within the district, such as band, cheerleading, drill teams, also use them?
Absolutely. They use our football field and soccer field as well. Whenever nobody's on it, they'll come out there.
Hey, just so everyone is aware, we did have a budget workshop tonight, and then we did discuss these budget items at length, and there's a lot of details that are not in these numbers. Some of Bob mentioned a little bit about maintenance costs and things. There's a lot more numbers involved with this than just this purchase price. So we have had an extensive discussion during the workshop about that.
Yeah, one of the things that stands out to me the most in looking at those numbers is the 10-year projected costs. And the 10-year projected costs for grass, when you factor in the maintenance, also the option to turf infields only, is cheaper than the cost of the grass. So to me, in my personal opinion, grass is off the table. I'm at turfing the infield at minimum, because the 10-year costs are cheaper.
I agree with that.
Well, in addition to that, Mr. Grassmack, there's some other benefits that I'm seeing on weather days, things of that nature. I know that it takes some time to tarp fields, which keeps kids out longer from going home if they have any kind of homework and things of that nature, as well as the sheer usage from other programs, other students, maybe from PEs, things of that nature, that will also have an opportunity to have real estate, if you will.
Rough numbers that I was playing with the other night, you're talking about the amount of time spent after games and stuff. I estimated somewhere around 45 hours a year that's getting spent after practice, that they could have been home in bed or doing homework or something
Something other than that.
something other than
Right.
packing dirt in a hole.
What's your pleasure?
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve option 5. And restate the option. Option 5 and Fielder's Choice for a price not to exceed, can't read, $1,266,457.
I second. Mr. President, can I make a clarity on that real quick? That is to turf the infield and outfield of baseball and softball, not to exceed $1,266,000 with Fielder's Choice.
Yes, the option 5 that was presented to us. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the option that was presented to us, option 5 on turfing with the infield and outfield of baseball and softball. Any other questions or comments?
Bob, so we're paying for the baseball and the softball's free, correct?
That's correct. That's the way it's presented, and
Even on the renewal, every time in the 10 years, it's gonna still fall under there?
probably not. Probably not.
That was a one-time,
It's a one-time
donation.
thing,
Hey, you can
but-
always
but,
ask.
You know,
We'll always ask.
Well, it stated in there it was gonna be half the installation cost on the details.
well,
of
it is half, but
That-
that's
yeah, that
half the
was my
cost is the
assumption. It
underground
wasn't part of
drainage.
his proposal, so. That's what we were told when Field Turf did the football field was you budget about half the cost of original installation for
The
replacement.
returf for both fields
Yeah,
today would probably be 633,000 or whatever that number was,
Yeah.
about half the cost.
Right.
And that's the other thing too, there's another, this number's kind of misleading because you've got a $1.26 million for 10 years, but that's really a deceiving number because that's not, half of that cost is underground drainage at both fields. So
that, but
you
when
have, and that's good for a 30-year period. So you have to amateurize that 700 or 600,000, 650,000 over a 30-year period, and then the other 650,000 is the actual turf cost that's only good for 10 years. So
That's a moot point when I'm talking about, you got 1.2, this is 12, half of that's 6. It's gonna be 600,000 to redo it. The
Yeah.
other one was 1.6, half that's 8, it's 800,000 to do both, so you're still getting the softball free, if they're throwing it in that cost and using that as your reference.
yeah, so they, none of the vendors quoted the half price for replacement. It was just numbers I wanted to give you guys based on conversations I've had
Okay.
with estimating that. That's not a number I've asked for.
Well, that's why I was asking.
Right. Those are just numbers for you to be able to know what a 10-year cost would be.
Gotcha.
Okay, if there are no other questions or comments, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this. Would you please cast your votes? And it has passed unanimously. Feel free to do all the negotiating you can do
Exactly.
on
Maybe-
some of these things,
Contingency dollars would be
contingency
nice.
dollars
Right.
and all that.
So I will.
Can you get a hold of
start those
Fielder's Choice
conversations.
tomorrow?
Yes.
'Cause we don't want delays, get with Coach. We don't want delays on season.
No, we will make a phone call to them tomorrow and start that work.
All right.
So I want to make a comment to the athletic department and a few of the athletes that are here. Y'all will notice, if y'all stay through the board communications, something about attendance. This is very heavily weighted on us doing better in our attendance in our district. So should you have late games and everything else, be leaders of your own teammates, be leaders of other programs. You need to get your other fellow student athletes, make sure they're in class, make sure that if they're in the band or anything else. This is super important because we want to also give back to the other programs. Y'all have been good leaders, good stewards. The softball program and both the baseball program have done well in succeeding. But we also have other children and other students that go along with this and other programs all through the district from elementary on the way up. So it's very important that we do attendance. Please push that and be leaders. Doing the right thing is not always the most popular thing, but it is in these scenarios.
That's true. Okay, we will move on now to our contract with Avondale House.
Hey, y'all can leave now. I know y'all want to.
No.
No, they really
They're
need
probably
to
getting
wait
some
and
kind of
hear
credit for
this.
government class or something
Yeah,
anyway.
you getting credit for it? Come
They
on,
have to
Ron.
hear this part. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Okay. Avondale provides educational services to children with autism. They operate a year-round school where they serve more than 12 school districts. Santa Fe has 2 students that attend Avondale to receive services in a highly structured environment with highly trained staff to meet their unique needs. These services are not available from any other non-public school in our area. Each year, the students have an annual review and dismissal meeting to evaluate the effectiveness of the out-of-district placement and to develop criteria for their transition back to the district. This request is presented to the board for approval per board policy CH local as the amount exceeds $25,000. Special Services is asking the board to review and approve the contracted service agreement with Avondale House not to exceed $117,000.
Mr. President, I make a motion to review and approve the contracted service agreement with Avondale House not to exceed $117,000. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We approve this contracted service with Avondale. Any other questions or comments? No, sir. All right, cast your votes, please. Passed unanimously. Okay, ma'am, now we have the specialized assessments for the consulting and psychological evaluation services.
Okay. Specialized Assessment and Consulting will provide psychological services and evaluations to students requiring these services during the 2019-2020 school year. These services are required to comply with Child Find and to provide related services designated in a student's individual education plan. The request is presented for board approval per board policy, CH Local, as the amount exceeds $25,000. Special Services is asking that you approve the amount not to exceed $25,000 for specialized assessment and consulting to provide psychological services and evaluations.
Not to exceed.
$74,000.
$74,000.
It's above
Excuse me.
$25,000.
Yes,
which is
because
why
it's
we're
above
bringing it.
$25,000, $74,000.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we consider and approve specialized assessment for consulting for the psychological services and evaluations in an amount not to exceed $74,000 for the 2019-2020 school year.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We approve the specialized assessment consulting services. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
How long, how long does, I know it varies all the time, but I mean, how long does one of these evaluations take?
An individual evaluation for one student can take between 8 to 16 hours per student. For the formal evaluation part, then there's the report writing part, which sometimes takes between 4 to 12 hours, depending on the child. So a total of usually 20 to 34 hours per student. It's quite expensive.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at the rate chart.
Yeah, it's
Trying to-
fairly expensive, and we're having to
I mean, if they're
contract.
putting that many hours in, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
so.
we're having to contract because there's a statewide shortage of licensed specialists in school psychology. And so most of the services are only available through contracting services, and that's what we're obligated to provide. So we're kind of limited to the resources we can use.
Okay, thank you.
How many students do you do?
Last year, for initial evaluations, our district did over 130 initial evaluations, over 300 evaluations for initial and reevaluations. So, quite a bit
Yeah.
for a district our size.
All right. Mr. President, I make a motion to consider and approve the specialized assessment and consulting for psychological services and evaluation in an amount not to exceed $74,000 for the 2019-2020 school year.
We do this.
Okay, so we'll move and second it twice. Okay, everybody understand the motion? Any other questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. Okay, it is passed unanimously. Thank you. Okay, I guess you've got one more for the instructional support for Diagnostic.
Yeah, they're almost the same name, which makes it a little confusing. Specialized instructional support provides evaluations including the dyslexia component at all campuses in Santa Fe. These contracted services are necessary to complete evaluations in compliance with Child Find and the State Performance Plan. The contracted services are federally funded and are necessary to provide timely evaluations. The request is being presented to the board for approval per board policy CH Local as the amount exceeds $25,000. Special Services is asking the board to approve the contractor agreement with specialized instructional support to provide evaluations in the amount not to exceed $60,000 for the 2019-2020 school year.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we consider and approve the contractor agreement with specialized instructional support to provide evaluations in an amount not to exceed $60,000 for the 2019-2020 school year. Second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with specialized instructional support. Any other questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Kim,
Yes, sir.
we got some classroom library stuff.
Classroom library books are used for the implementation of the Lucy Calkins Units of Study for Reading and Writing in grades 3 through 5. These books will support the new TEKS with literacy development in all 3 through 5 ELAR classrooms. The request is presented to the board approval per board policy CH local as the amount exceeds $25,000. The funds used to purchase these libraries are from the instructional materials allotment, which is the allotment from the state. So we ask that you consider and approve the purchase of classroom libraries for grades 3 through 5 for the 2019-20 school year in an amount not to exceed $138,672.
Mr. President, I make a motion we review and approve the purchase of classroom libraries for the grades 3 through 5 for the 2019-2020 school year in an amount not to exceed $138,672.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase for the classroom libraries. Any other questions or comments?
Is this an item they keep on the shelf that's just a order and it comes in if you're gonna use them for this year?
What's that?
When will these books come in?
They'll be in 3 weeks.
Any other questions?
They don't overnight them for this $9,000 shipping and handling fee?
No, 3 weeks actually is good. We actually worked with another company in order to expedite the orders.
Was this something, they threw on you at the last minute that you were gonna need?
I'm sorry?
Is this something new that they put on you at the last minute that you were gonna need?
Is this something new? No.
Okay.
Any other questions? Not, cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. All right, ma'am, now we have the benchmark assessment system.
So this benchmark assessment system is to be used to determine the instructional reading level of every student in grades K through 5, and for students not meeting grade level expectations in grades 6 through 8. The system provides specific interventions to be used for each student. The request is presented to the board per board policy CH local. As the amount exceeds $25,000, the funds used to purchase this system will come again from the instructional materials allotment, which is provided through the state. So please consider and approve the purchase of the BASS system for the 2019-2020 school year in an amount not to exceed $38,734.50.
Mr. President, I make a motion we approve the purchase of the BASS system for the 2019-2020 school year in the amount not to exceed $38,734.50.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of the BASS system. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
Would you cast your votes, please? And it has passed unanimously. All right, how about the literacy intervention kits?
Yes, so LLI stands for Leveled Literacy Intervention, and LLI is used as a reading intervention for students reading below grade level. LLI provides daily, intensive, small group instruction to supplement classroom literacy teaching and will support struggling readers in grades K through 5. This request is presented for board approval per board policy CH local as the amount exceeds $25,000. The funds used to purchase these kits, again, are from the instructional materials allotment. Please consider and approve the purchase of the LLI system for the 2019-2020 school year in an amount not to exceed $52,190.16.
Mr. President, I make a motion to consider and approve the purchase of the LLI system for the 2019-2020 school year in amount not to exceed $52,190.16.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase LLI system. Any other questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. All right, I think you have one more. Is that
do.
Edgenuity?
Yes, sir. Edgenuity provides online curriculum for students. It allows students placed in DAP to continue with all required coursework, and it is also used for credit recovery at the high school, as well as the Indian Success Academy. This request is presented for board approval per board policy CH local as the amount exceeds $25,000. The funds used to purchase the renewal of Edgenuity, again, are from the instructional material allotment. Please consider and approve the renewal of the Edgenuity subscription for the 2019-20 school year in an amount not to exceed $52,600.
Mr. President, I make a motion we approve the renewal of the Ingenuity subscription for the 2019-2020 school year in an amount not to exceed $52,600.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this renewal of the Ingenuity subscription. Any other questions or comments? Cast your votes, please. And it has passed unanimously. Okay, that is all of our regular agenda items. So we will now move into our public forum. Some of you may or may not be aware, we have not to this point been required to offer public forum, even though we do. And the reason we weren't required is because we have a formal grievance policy for teachers, students, parents, as well as the public, which we mention every time, and I'll read here in just a second, but some of that now changes. So effective September the 1st, we will begin under this the change in the this House Bill 2840 brought about. We are currently working with, and Dr. Warner's staff are working with TASB with some guidelines. So a new policy will be coming out, and that will be made public, obviously, and be on the website. The policy has not been developed, our specific district policy, but we will match and meet, obviously, what the new laws allow. So with that, I will now take us into our current policy, communication. We're going to roll around here. Ms. Ross, we will start with you.
Okay, well, I would just, I guess, have to turn this thing on.
I've never been scared to talk.
Hey, I'm not scared to talk. I have a mic. No, I'd just like to say it was great having the kids come back last week. That's been probably the highlight of our time. But there's a lot of things that you guys don't know. And one of the things that's really great is the week before the kids come back, all the staff comes back. And we had a lot of fun. And I'm going to tell you, if the energy is indicative of our results of our spirit contest this year with campus climate and culture, I'm going to tell you right now, RJ is definitely in the lead because they won the first annual Campus Yell contest, and it is on now. So it was really a lot of fun, and we hope that you guys can see that throughout the district.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Hansard?
Okay, well, each of you have a list of events, which it's really hard to believe that we are back for a new school year, but it is an exciting one. And it's packed full of events. So please, draw your attention to those. But also, I wanted to just remind you that Barnett, the dedication and ribbon cutting will be September the 28th, and after Labor Day holiday, yes, we get a holiday coming up, can you believe? We will get those invites out, and we will make that public, and we're very, very excited to open that new campus and to honor Mr. Barnett as well. And I'd like to welcome Mr. Sanchez. Congratulations on Director of Finance. But at the same time, it's with a heavy heart that we see you go, Mary Ann, because it's been an honor and it's been a pleasure to work with you, especially from an HR perspective, because we would not get our payroll and our people paid on time if it weren't for your expertise and your help all the time. And so I wish you the best in your retirement. And once again, it's a pleasure having worked with you. I know you want to do the happy dance, so go ahead. I know you've been waiting to do that, your last board meeting. So, but seriously, I wish you all the best. And thank you all for your hard work, because last week would not have been successful without all of you. So,
thank you, ma'am. Mr. Logan?
I'd also like to thank you. Congratulations. Mr. Sanchez, if I pronounced your name wrong, the first name part, I apologize.
He does it to everybody.
Yeah. Thank all y'all for y'all's hard work. Thank you, ma'am, for stepping up and talking to us. We appreciate it. Everyone have a good week.
Have to echo kind of. I guess it's my turn now.
Yep.
again, congratulations on your retirement. Best wishes, and welcome to finance. Glad you have numbers duty, because I hate numbers. Congratulations to Robin for actually getting up here and speaking without turning red. Made me laugh, but
Yeah, she's turning right now, but
I also heard some things that I agree with. You know, we still have a lot of things that we need to work on as far as discipline wise in our district. Our staff and folks need to know that they have our support. And at the same time, that kind of ties into what Eric was talking about earlier, that we'll kind of call on some of these athletes to help lead that way. There's a lot of people that look up to y'all, and y'all can definitely play a role in helping people do the right thing and lead them in a good direction. So call on y'all for a little help there too.
Especially with the extra 45 hours now here.
Yeah, now you got an extra 45 hours. Got to dedicate all 45 hours to helping your fellow classmates.
We'll find something else for you to do.
The yard and trash.
Well, welcome back to school, and let's make it a great year.
Mr. Hartberger?
Ditto to everything. Back to Ms. Delgado, thank you for coming out, and back to what Mr. Grassmuck said. We had a meeting with all the principals, and we're here to support them with the squeaky wheels. It's not a make sure little Johnny's happy. It's make sure little Johnny's following the rules that we put in place. So we're here for support, and I think things are going well too. Congratulations on your retirement. Congratulations on the new employment. Congratulations, kids, on your new turf field that you get to do your senior year with. Thank everybody for coming out.
Mr. Davenport?
There we go.
I'm usually going last, so this is something new, but I'll keep it brief. To all the teachers and staff, and thank y'all for everything. I had a chance to visit a couple of the campuses this past week, and Michelle, it was pretty fun getting to see everybody walk down the hall dressed up and everything else, so well done. Mr. Kopp, I didn't see you, but I saw your staff, and they said that things were going well. So, and I know I've talked to some of the others, so I just want to say thank you for getting the week started off on the right foot. Chief, I've seen you in the middle of the highway already a couple of times in the morning, so thank you for your efforts. And Mr. McKinney, thank you for everything that you're doing with transportation and trying to get things ironed out to get the kids home a little bit quicker. The one thing I kind of wanted to mention that some of y'all can take away, and I kind of wanted to give it to these gentlemen right here, 1% in attendance over the year equates to about $200,000 into our pocket. So that's why I'm saying if y'all could teach, others that, hey, get to class, stay in class, bring yourself up to school and everything else. That's what you're doing to get other things, So kind of educate those, and if they have any other questions, ask them to go talk to Coach Wolf or Coach Bentley or Miss Harris in the back. And also, this doesn't go for just the high school. If y'all got influence, like they were just saying, junior high level and on down. If you're not in PALS or doing something that's extracurricular with that 45 extra hours that you have, get involved. Seriously. So
I can see them calculating in their heads, right?
But it's the reward for getting something nice. You also have a little bit of a duty now as well. So it comes with a cost for all of us. But we know that Coach Wolf has been here quite a bit of time, and yes, sir. But y'all have built a good program. So lead by example and continue to build on that. And I think Coach Bentley, I've heard a lot of good things so far in your short time at the helm. It never fails. I usually do Saturday at HEB. Somebody will find me and say something, and I've had 2 junior high coaches come up to me and are very happy with the way things are going. And I had one high school coach come up to me and said, hey, things are getting better. We're having dinners and talking about things, and the chemistry seems to be good. So continue that, and I think transparency is going to be good. So keep doing what you're doing as well in the athletic department. To the board and to everybody up here in all the departments, thank y'all for everything that y'all are doing as well. So, Ms. Delgado, thank you for partnering with us and being patient with us as well. So.
Sir. Bob?
I don't have much. Looking forward to a great school year. Want to thank all the operations group for the wonderful effort they put through this summer, technology, maintenance, custodial. All those groups really worked real hard this summer to make this last week and today a very successful start. So I definitely want to thank those guys for all their long hours and hard work. It was a very busy summer. Looking forward to school to year so we can relax a little.
Ms. Townsend?
Yes, thank you so much for the good start of school. We had a lot of technology getting up and going. We had transportation, getting the kids to and from school, and we're feeding them. And Sheree and her group is doing a great job with that. And maintenance and operations hung in there and had everything moving forward. So just a lot of work, a lot of people moving in sync and getting the things done. So thank you so very much. Again, I'd like to introduce Alex. And thank you so very much. And he is here with his wife, Amanda. So we are so glad that you have both joined our family.
It's a requirement that you stand up, by the way.
Stand up.
I'm kidding.
And yes, of course, we wish Mariana a very happy retirement, and we're saying, wishing you well on Wednesday afternoon. So you're all welcome to come by and wish her well on her journey, her wonderful journey. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm not going to cry. So congratulations on the field. Good job.
Mr. Snyder?
Make it quick and easy. Everybody said everything I need to say. Thank y'all for coming out. Coach Bentley, thanks for everything you're doing. Mr. Sanchez, welcome aboard. I'll repeat everybody else. Boys, you're going to have time on your hands now.
45 hours.
All the time you got, 45 hours last time I checked. Well deserved. You young men deserve it. Be proud, and I agree with Ms. Davenport. You have somebody, those kids look up to y'all. Keep doing your thing. Teachers, principals, thank y'all for everything y'all do. We do appreciate it. At the end of the day, we're just here part-time, y'all here full-time. Thank y'all for what y'all do. It goes a long way. Don't think people don't appreciate it. Ms. Delgado, thank you for coming. Just let you know we do appreciate what you do.
Mr. Kelly?
I tell you what, after going pretty early and then now going last.
Exactly.
Really nothing to cover. I mean, once it's
Exactly.
done, it's over.
Took all the fun out of it.
Yeah, but I would like to congratulate Kim and Bob for finding a more comfortable seat during the board meetings. And,
Hey, is this better than out there?
and I did get a chance to go around to all the campuses on the first day of school, and it was pretty awesome to see the smiles on all the teachers' faces. I know that on junior high, the kids were really nervous, so I didn't expect much from them, especially the ones that are new this year over there. But high school, I didn't get to see a lot of the kids. It was one of the last campuses, but the rest of especially elementaries, it was nice to see. So you guys are doing what you're supposed to do, and that's awesome.
Exactly.
You're doing a great job at it. Keep it up. Thank you.
Dr. Wall?
Ms. Junko, we appreciate your service very much. Welcome, Mr. Sanchez, and Ms. Delgado, thanks once again for all the support. We appreciate you as well. And great start to the school year. Thank you to all, and we're looking forward to some Indian baseball and some Indian softball, so thank you guys for being here too. Y'all have a great year.
So I must have to say, this year, the first day of school, I'm not going to speak about any kind of traffic issues or anything that a light might take care of later or whatever, but just on the campuses that I visited the first day, it was unbelievable how quiet it was and how organized it seemed that things were. And I'm not saying that it's been bad necessarily on first days before, but this was by far the most organized and the quietest I've seen on these campuses. So my congratulations to all of you for your planning and your hard work being prepared. It is amazing to me what the difference in 1 year makes in the start of school, comparing August a year ago to now, and the spirit and the things we're seeing. And as we've had the opportunity to tell a lot of folks, that is a direct responsibility. That's a direct happening because of the resiliency of our students and our teachers and staff. And to that, I can assure you there's a team of folks up here that are very appreciative and makes us even more dedicated to do our jobs. Ms. Jean, you know, I'm going to tell you, you will be asked 100 times a couple of days after you retire, you know, what do you think about retirement and all that? And, you know, I'm just proud for you that you have the opportunity. I've told thousands of people once I retired, I highly recommend it. So, you know, and Mr. just thank you for being willing to come in and tackle school finance is obviously something that it's important, and it's a necessary evil in some avenues, but still it's got to be done. So thank you for being willing to take that challenge here.
And we gave him a gift of already spending $4 million tonight.
Yeah, spent a bunch of money. You know, the other thing I want to tell you real quick, I think it's real positive this last week to talk to some of the media about the accountability ratings and the things that the campuses and the district as a whole were able to accomplish. And that threw right into some of the changes that took place to make that happen, and some of the things that are working and some of the things that we'll continue to do because of that. It was just a really good, positive conversation with the media in that aspect, and it just shows, again, that resiliency of this district to be able to make a positive out of something negative. So that's just our thanks to the entire district for that. And one final thing, you've heard a lot of talk, Rome and friends, there about you got this new 45 hours that somebody calculated, but if I was a betting man, I would bet that these coaches and all, they find something for you to do during that time. So don't go tell Coach Wolf later, no, the board said we don't have to do that, because the board is not saying that at all. So, you know, yeah, tutorials and all those things, and getting home at a decent hour and all that, you know, that we encourage, but we're not taking that task away from Coach Wolf to make sure y'all are doing what you're supposed to do. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'm making a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor, raise your hand. And we are adjourned. Thank you very much.